Now we're going to look at measuring, and measuring changes everything in your drawing. So far we looked at the two brain processes which can mess up our drawing, and we tried drawing upside down, which can help a lot and you can do anytime. And then you learned how to see the shapes within your subject, and how seeing those shapes and finding the angles can help you see like an artist. And then you learn to see all the little shapes within your subject and the angles too, and how that helps you see the subject and turn off all the little icons your brain wants to mess you up with. So now we're going to measure them, but it's not math. There's no rulers. There's nothing more complicated than just measuring sort of the shapes and the objects within your subject against one another. Proportional kind of stuff. First, we're going to create another contour drawing. We're not going to get to shading yet. We're just going to learn how to get that much more accurate by measuring. And we're going to do it right here. I have a PDF which has some objects for you to choose. You can choose something in front of you at home, or you can go grab this off my website, lindalaforge.com, and we're going to draw an object. I'm going to stick with this guy. So we've done a couple drawings, and this time we can get a little more accurate because we're going to measure. I usually draw using an H pencil with it, which is H is for hard. It also means it's not going to be very dark. For this, I'm using a B pencil so that you can see it with the camera and the lighting. I'm still not sketching very heavily. I'm sketching very lightly. So first we're composing the page. You can put your subject anywhere, any size on the page you want. Have some fun. You can stick it top left, smack dab in the middle, whatever feels right. And you can use the surrounding part of the image to help you find the overall shape of the object. We call this white space. So part of composing is a really quick, rough sketch. And measuring, I use scrap paper. The straight edge is great for marking the basic measurement, or the overall measurement and all the little measurements in between. When I fold it, it gets me sort of a half mark, so I will know what the middle of my object is without having to do any crazy measurement stuff like with rulers. And then I fold it again and I can get where the quarter measurement is, and that's usually as far as I go. So in this case, we're lucky that the cup itself, the rim of the cup, is about 3/4, and the handle is about 1/4 of the width. They're usually not so dead on. So I flip the page and I mark that this is my measurement for the drawing. So I can easily get confused between the measurement for the reference material, the photograph, and the drawing we're making. So I usually mark. And I'm doing the same thing here. I'm going to figure out what my half measurement will be and my quarter by folding it twice. So I can really easily figure out the width of the rim of my mug. And then I draw my sight lines. So sight lines are used to mark where on the page you want your subject. You use them to draw inside of them. So you can draw your curves, your shapes, your object all within that area where you know is the right accurate dimension of your cup or your object. So here I've got my sight lines. I'm drawing them a little darker than I normally would. Now I'm going to measure the height of my mug. And I'm marking in the most important major parts of the object. Right? The very bottom of the cup all the way to the height of the handle. A little tip, you can watch this at the speed that works best for you. Speed it up, slow it down. I know I usually put it at 1.25 or 1.5 speed, depending on what I'm learning online. You can pause it to make notes and do sketches. You can actually draw along and pause when you need to. Here I can see how close to square my object is. It's not completely perfectly square, but it's pretty close. If you're finding this helpful, please subscribe. I've got this and a few more coming. And of course, if you have questions, please let me know what they are. I'm happy to help. There. So I've figured out exactly where the lip of my mug ends, and the top of the very tallmost mark is the top of the handle, sort of the depth of it. Using all those marks to draw in basic sight lines and draw the object shape within it. The lip of this cup is in perspective, and understanding perspective can help you improve your drawing vastly. And ovals and rounds are probably the most challenging. I do have some lessons online specifically on perspective, which could help you a lot. So please give that a shot. There, I'm getting the overall shape of my mug within my sight lines. Continually checking the sight lines as I go. There, we've got the overall shape of the mug, and now we can start using the shapes within it to refine it. And we can measure against the shapes within the object. And the shapes are from light source, shadow, the texture itself. In this case, it's shiny and smooth with, those cool pocs and the colors. Create some interesting stuff there. Here I'm refining my handle, the overall shape of my handle. My original measuring sheet got a little smudgy, so sometimes I go to another one just to make sure I stay on the right track and don't waste my time if I'm not sure what my mark meant, because that happens too sometimes. the width of my handle, the overall width, and then the width itself of the handle grip. I'm mimicking my pencil over the object to try and mimic how it feels, so when I draw it on the page, I get the same sense or the same curve. I'm ensuring I've got it in the right place. I can draw the curve within my sight lines. There we go. We've got the overall shape of the object. Now we're refining more, adding all the little shapes within it. All the highlights are outlined. The darkest shadow points are outlined. I'm just sort of refining my lip cup, the cup of my lip. And I can compare as I sketch these sort of texture elements in where they are based on what's in the original. Is it in the middle? Is it in the top? At the edge of something? So this takes some effort, it takes practice. The more you do this, the easier it gets. I promise you. It will become second nature if you do it all the time. You can do it. This is our first contour sketch from episode 3. You can see a bit of a difference here. I think this one's a little more accurate. Next, artist pencils and adding shading.